Hi, and welcome back to Ion Radio. I'm John,
And I'm Ken.
and we have our monthly, bi-monthly, every other month when we get done with the series broadcast episode today.
That's right. It's been probably about 2 months since we did one of these, I think.
Yeah.
Last one we did at the end of Scouring Sands. And then since then, we've had Josh Dirksen on the channel. I was able to spend a good 45 minutes to an hour was cut out of the final released video. And then we've had Madness. So we've been a little busy.
Yes, we have. And that's just Ion stuff. That's not even just we've actually been very busy.
Yeah, no, that is true. And this is normally where we get into our what have we been doing slash home improvement section. So, John, what is broken in your house?
So I don't know if I've talked about it or not, but I dug a hole to make like a paver thing to put an umbrella. And the day that the pavers were going to get finished, I was putting up the umbrella to cover that area. So then, I didn't want to work in the sun. And a wind gust opened the umbrella. So basically, I got to hold the umbrella up to keep it from crashing into the house. As it snapped, the umbrella that was going to go on the pavers that I finished. So then I finished the pavers extremely angry. The pavers turned out really good. So I have two umbrellas. So the umbrella that was not going to go there is going to go there, which is just frustrating because it's like literally like one step forward, two back all the time.
That's cool, John.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's just fantastic. So that's that home improvement process. I actually hit the 100% on my water test. I know we talked about that earlier, and now I'm just in cruise control, keeping it going. Um, and then so all the holes in my backyard now are at least filled. I don't remember if I told people that we just turned the fire pit that just kept expanding. We actually made that into like a mud sand pit for my son because he's a boy. Like he's just gonna, and a kid. Like he just wants to play and dig in dirt. So we have that now off. We had the previous owner had like tons of like paver bricks that they just left under the deck that we had to tear down. So we had like couple hundred. So we just grabbed those and we just, roughly did a little area in that hole just because, like, do you know how much dirt we would have to, like, we have dirt that's no good and we have to get rid of it to then bring in good dirt. Like, it's just really frustrating. Everything about it's been frustrating. So at least everything in the backyard now is at least filled so we don't have any giant holes. I'm trying to think if there's any other home improvement stuff that I've had to do, just odds and ends, but those were the big things. Um, so now it's just maintaining until fall and then, fall stuff.
Which brings a whole series of new problems with it.
Different stuff, same thing, but different.
I've had to deal with the sump in my pool bar. That has been fun
Hmm,
because it seems like every other day it's flooded. So
cool.
I don't want the bar to be my swimming pool. It seems like I'm losing water out of the pool because of all the heat we've had. So
Uh,
it's ending up in
Or
my
it's just
yeah
transferring itself
yeah.
over.
I'm trying to figure that one out. I haven't quite gotten the hang of how that works, but it's been stuff like that. I had to caulk a window because I found that we had water leaking into one of our windows. And, and then we had all the rains about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
We've had rains for like the entire month of June into July, like
That is true.
huge storms all the time.
It was the first set, the beginning of June, and I had roughly 50 gallons of water in the basement, so I had to clean that out, and I have to completely replace all of my gaming shelves. So,
Oh,
I'm going to toss all of those, and I'm going to put something up like those closet kits that you find, like the metal racks and whatnot. I'm just going to bolt them to the concrete, and then have nothing on the floor. It's going to be at least 6 inches up, if not a foot. So I don't chance anything. Fortunately, I didn't lose any gaming stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
So
So
how much water do you get then when it floods in that area?
uh depth wise in the because that's my apparently that's the low spot in my basement. I was up to about 3/4 of an inch.
Okay, because um when we first moved in and we didn't have more, it's always just homeowner stuff.
Yeah.
That's really what we do most of our time on. So our sump pump got overwhelmed like in a couple of storms because all of our drainage away from our house was clogged.
Mhm.
Yay, it's a great way to find that out. And then the sump pump, like the where it went into, we actually don't know even know where it went. So we had to have someone like take it to the back of a yard, and we thankfully haven't had any problems since. But when that flooded, my wife and I were talking about trying to just get a riser, even if it was like a 2x4, just to lift the stuff above it, because like I'd rather just replace a 2x4
Mhm.
under something, or get like a plastic like ring to be like a foot.
Yep.
I was thinking about just like PVC couplers, just drop, and then get the whole shelf up on top of it instead of trying to replace the shelf because that sucks.
Yes. And I've got the 5x5 and the 4x4 cube set from IKEA. Both of them, the bottom sets are falling apart. And it's now, you know how when wood gets wet and it's just like not, again, fortunately,
That's not even real wood.
yeah, it's not even real wood. Yeah. So it's whatever laminate it is. So that's been kind of a fun side project. And then our toilet decided to act like a geyser instead of a toilet. So when we would flush it, we'd get water pop up. Air, basically a giant air bubble would force its way into the toilet, and water would spit up, which was kind of cool in
People
one
pay
way.
extra for that.
I mean, you know what? You could. I mean, it was like having a bidet built in without having to pay for it.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that only works if you use the bidet first. So, I paid a plumber to come by and check pipes and everything else. End of the day, we found out it was an actual issue with the toilet itself.
Oh,
So
cool.
wound up replacing that today. Finished right before or right as my in-laws were coming over for dinner. But John, this new toilet I have, it's the American Standard Titan. It flushes like nothing I've ever seen before. I'm pretty sure I could put a small bucket of golf balls in the toilet, flush, and they would be gone. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
I have never seen that kind of flushing power out of 1.6 gallons. And the fact that I'm excited about a toilet flushing,
Means you're old.
yes.
Just throwing that out there. Yeah.
Well, I've got almost a decade on you, John. So
Yeah.
there's a reason why I think these ways.
Yeah.
But that's been about it for home
I already
improvement.
reaped all my toilets when I moved into the house because
You
none
had
of
to
them
do it
were
when you
working right.
moved in. Yeah.
Mine were fastened to metal skivs to just make it balanced.
Oh
The
God.
plumber's like, "Who did this? I've never seen this before. This is the worst thing I've ever seen." And then the other one was just completely clogged.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Cool.
It's fun. So word of advice, folks, don't buy houses, just rent and let the landlord fix it.
It's just a headache. Okay, so let's move on from that. And I actually got quite a bit of hobby stuff done since the
Mhm.
last time we met. So Ken and I are currently in the process of planning our next Hinterlands campaign. Campaigns, plural.
Yep.
Those of
We're
you that are
splitting.
interested.
Each one
Yeah.
of our groups is going to a different spot.
Yes. So I have painted up all of the op for what my forces are going to be going against, and then we talked about this in Hinterlands. The next time we did anything, like we don't get surprised by it because we have to film. So like if we know that it should be 3 missions, we
Yeah.
technically have to come up with everything before all those 3 missions. So we get an Excel file out and we get a random roll, and then we just get like 100 numbers, and then we just start planning every single thing that goes
Yeah, we
in the background of the campaign so
we
that
pretty much know exactly what's going to happen, what's going to be available, and we're ready to go with it. So like John, I think there's what 4 or 5 mechs you could purchase depending on
yes,
outcomes that you've already painted up.
correct.
Yeah.
And so that's what we discovered as soon as we started the first Hinterlands. And I'm like, I'm going to buy a mech. I can't even film with it today.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. And I don't think I'm going to have it done by the next time we film. So
Right.
we just have to plan everything out. So I got all of the new theoretical purpletons done. If I decided to buy anything moving forward, I may not, but they just look cool.
For a good aces team down the road.
It's odd. Like, let me finish, then I'll jump on that. And then I finished all the op for it, and then I also painted all because I have the green set of two of all the vehicles, and now I have a tan set of all the vehicles. So
Yeah.
like classic armyman style, I have tan versus green, and now we can have opposing forces using vehicles against each other. And like I don't need them to be painted as a house. They're usually just like, planetary forces anyway. So green and tan. So we will always have two forces then that we can use for that. I'm in the middle of doing a huge print for all the maps that I want to do. So I'm thinking there's 6 different maps of terrain that I have to print up for just the forces that my campaign's going into. So it's been a long process. I mean, I bought a ton more filament. I think I'm on my fourth um reel currently for what I'm printing up. So I'm really excited to get those done. I'm going to be probably painting them in the next week. Um, but my printer's just been running like nonstop for like 2 weeks straight now. It should be done tomorrow, so excited about that. And then years and years and years ago, I think this was like maybe 2020, so we're talking 6+ years ago now. I bought a whole set of like terribly painted Tyranids for 40K, and they've just been sitting there. So I've had terrible luck stripping models with paint in the past. My wife still gives me a hard time about it. I bought a bunch of like mech slash what was that other mech game that I got
Yeah.
into? Cav, yeah. I actually like Cav. Um, but
Another game we spend a lot of time with spreadsheets with.
yes, because it's very mathy. It's
Yes.
way more math. It's a different way more mathy than BattleTech, which is strange. Um, but I bought a whole thing of it and I like put it in simple green and I like let it sit and then I tried scrubbing it and it didn't work, so I just let it sit and it went from my old apartment to the townhouse to the Plainfield house to this house, and then I finally did I give it to you or do I just throw it out? Do
It
you
is currently in my garage where
it's still soaking, still not
I've
stripping
pulled
paint?
a few things out, tried to scrape them down. I mean, I was using brass brushes to try and get stuff
Same,
off.
and it didn't do it.
Yeah, so they I've actually dumped the simple green, put in some fresh simple green. And we'll see if that does the trick. But yeah,
Simple green doesn't work. I'm gonna just throw it out there right now.
I'm tempted to use paint thinner and stuff,
You
but
can't because some of them are resin.
oh,
Um, so I found what works. I went to
ooh,
the dollar store and I bought
of course.
totally LA or LA's totally awesome's concentrate, and it immediately worked. Like I took the models, I put them in, and I was trying to get them to all sink into the bottom, but they weren't working. So I like actually had to like press down on them to sink them in. And I lifted up. I'm like, it's got a thumbprint in it. That means it's already taking the paint off.
Nice.
So yeah, I stripped all of them and just in the process of doing it because my container I couldn't actually get all of them in. So I'm on my third batch of stripping. Like it still leaves like a staining of color,
Hmm.
but like I just need the crappy paint taken off so I can repaint it.
Yeah.
So it's not perfect, but it actually did something compared to whatever that simple green goo bob is. I mean, my wife Riley talks about it still every time I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to do this. She's like, well, I wouldn't do it the way you did it that because that lasted like 6 years.
And it's still going.
Still going. Because we were just going to use it for like bit parts to
Yeah.
make like broken mechs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, we never got around to that. It's literally
Well,
been like 6, 7 years of
I think we
being
started
in
out
simple
with our
green.
first series of BattleTech that we
It
did,
was. We
pre-COVID.
bought it at that same time.
Yeah.
That's what I bought a
Wow.
whole bunch of stuff because at the time Alpha Strike, like the Kickstarter and stuff, wasn't even a thing.
That's
We
right.
got into BattleTech when it was not cool. Um,
I've got my City Tech box over here,
I
John.
know.
I mean,
Um, yeah, so that was old. Yeah, that was really old. Um, so it's just been sitting in that simple green. Simple green just I just this one actually like you get it on your hands, you're like, I should go wash my hands. This shouldn't be on my skin. And
yeah,
that's how you know it's gonna do something.
yeah, yeah.
Unlike simple green, which simple green is
It's like,
good for cleaning, but
yeah,
apparently not for stripping.
yeah.
Unless people just use really weak paint and they stripped it with simple green. I don't know. Let us know what you think for stripping paint.
That should be
Apparently the
on
British
my
people
list.
use what was it? It's like methylated something or other. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. So I looked it up and they're all over there stripping it with uh what is it, the denatured alcohol or whatever.
Basically mineral spirits, huh?
Yeah, yeah, that's what they're using. I'm like,
All
I'm not doing that in my basement.
right. So what you
Cool.
use to clean engine parts, you can
Or
use.
like lamps. Like
Yeah.
it's like a lamp fuel.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
They've got all the
it,
good stuff overseas.
you can buy it here.
Yeah.
It's just called something different.
Yeah. That's
It's
funny.
it's actually poison because it will kill you if you drink it. So they actually make it taste bad. So then alcoholics just don't try to buy the thinner.
Hmm.
Fun facts. So that's what I've been up to. So lots of 3D printing, lots of mech painting, lots of stripping old models and trying to get it ready.
But yeah, my end also 3D printing because the different series of stuff that needs to go on the maps that I'm currently building up. Do we want to spoil any of that or make people wait?
Make them wait.
Well, you'll have to wait, folks. Keep your eye on Instagram and Patreon. Maybe we'll release something over the next month or so. So there's been that, a lot of painting going on there. Again, same thing with mechs. I've been dealing with a lot of those. Um, from a hobby perspective, so I did go to Origins, played a ton of different games, and probably the big ones. I did not get into a BattleTech grinder, although man, those tables looked really cool. I did get into FASA has a dogfight and a capital ship space combat game called Interceptor, and then the space capital ship's called Leviathan. I got to get a test game of that, so I picked those up just to kind of play around with them and see if that's something that I would enjoy. Um, I did get to play the equivalent of a BattleTech grinder for the Leviathans game by Catalyst. Way too many Leviathans. There's like four other Leviathan games too. And that was a lot of fun. I had the smallest little, boat that you could possibly be flying around and took out one of the bigger ones. That was a lot of fun. I got to play Star Trek Into the Unknown. Spoke with John Schaefer with WizKids about the new expansion and some other things that may or may not be coming out in the not too well. I want to say not too distant future, but the way WizKids works with Into the Unknown, it might be 1 or 2 years away. And then I also got to play the Captain's Chair, new expansion, which it's a card game I really enjoy. That I'm looking forward to getting the new box. In fact, I just got yesterday, I think it was, a notification that something from WizKids is coming. So it's either the Captain's Chair expansion and the second box, or it's new Into the Unknown stuff. So one of the two. So that'll be fun. Let's see. The other thing I've been doing a lot, speaking of games, my son, who's going to be 21 in about 4 months, which is unbelievable. Uh,
Jeez.
he just started watching the Firefly series, and that's been kind of fun rewatching that with him and seeing, a series I enjoy through someone
Are
else's
you
eyes.
watching in release order or actual story order?
We're doing it in story order.
Okay, good.
Trying to watch that in release order is just don't do it. Don't do it, folks.
Thanks, Fox, for killing that show.
Oh my, we just finished the sixth episode, Our Mrs. Reynolds, and I'm sitting there going, why did they cancel this show?
Well,
Um,
what stinks is like they literally had like a flashback to an episode that didn't release yet.
mhm,
What?
mhm,
Oh,
mhm.
it's such a great series.
Oh, it was a great series. Which is why I'm really excited. Well, first of all, I'm really excited to watch the next episode with my son Janestown, because that's one of my favorite episodes of the series. But I'm like searching around. So if anyone has more information on their animated season two that they're trying to pitch to Disney and whomever, please leave a comment in the below. Let me know. But I've been playing the Firefly board game a lot. And it's one that my wife and I have enjoyed playing. It's basically a pick up and deliver game. You ever play it before?
I Ooh, which one did I play? I don't know if I played Firefly. No, I don't know if I've played Firefly.
Okay. Something to add on to the games that John and Ken will play and not film list, which is growing
Because we
exponentially.
did a pickup and thing, and I immediately flew into like a supernova. Was that Zai?
That was Zaya,
Yeah.
Legends of a Drift System. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boop,
That,
boop,
that's
boom, done. Cool.
mhm.
Took longer to set up the game than for me to
Meant for
explode.
you to die. Yeah. Uh, there's another game that I won, but that's only because, folks, it's games we don't film. I have a higher percentage chance of winning. Um, so I've been playing a lot of that and just thoroughly enjoying it. And I had bought the 10th edition or 10th anniversary edition of the game, and it was delivered because I joined the Kickstarter. It was delivered to the house about 2.5 years ago, and I finally opened it about a week ago. And there's a bunch of neat new content in there that I forgot about. I'm like, this is really cool, including a whole bunch of solo play stuff. So I've been kind of running through that. Um, that's been a lot of what I've been kind of doing. So more than just toilets and home improvement, I've actually had a little bit of playing games thrown in the mix. And then, I'm only two rolls into terrain printing, and I'm kind of done with the terrain for now. So, um, if since you're done with terrain, you don't need me to start printing stuff for you. But
Nope.
yeah, that's pretty
Actually
cool.
was playing games too. This is like a first.
Oh, that's right. You've got your thing you're doing.
So we talked about it the last time, and I started it, and I've been playing it with my son, which has been fun. So basically, I've just been letting him roll the dice. So I've been playing so Scouring Sands on Legendary, and I've reached over halfway now. And then life just got busy, and we haven't. And I also had to convert the table to something else. But we've been playing through Legendary, and it may be released on Patreon, may be released as a series later on in the year. I'll have to figure it out. I still need to find time to edit all of it. But we've been playing that together. It's been a lot of fun playing with my son, and he has his favorite mechs, and he gets really excited when he blows up the bad guys. So it's been a lot of fun. The first episode, I didn't have a mic because I was just gonna have him roll dice and it wasn't gonna be part of the edit. But he's like, when do I talk? Because I kept saying like, you got to be quiet at this point because I'm gonna be talking, and then I would talk, and then he's like, when do I talk? What do you want to say? Which one's the blood asp? That one. Okay. He really likes also the Loki Mark II. That's
Uh,
one of his favorites.
he's got good taste.
He does. I'm not disagreeing with that. What was the Jade Falcon one that he likes? He does not like the Bane. Ooh,
Yeah, that's
Bane,
a
bad
scary one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. All of your sentiments. Yeah, so we've been playing through that, so I'll have to set it back up, and I think I have what 2 to 3 more missions to complete, depending on how things go.
Did you get through the one where you face off with Conrad Sender?
We did.
Okay, so then did you go beyond that?
Not yet.
Then you have three more to go.
See, 3 more to go. Just over halfway. Um, yeah, so that's been a lot of fun. It's We've talked about increasing difficulty, and I just don't think we're going to do it on the channel because it's a challenge. And I know you talked to Josh about this,
Mhm.
but like it's not necessarily more fun.
Mm,
Like the way that we were able to go through normal, we had a lot of fun and we didn't really need to stress about anything.
mm.
When you're going through it on legendary, you have to stress about things and it becomes very min-maxy instead of just enjoying playing. And like you'll see that, and like my son doesn't know what's going on, but like I min-maxed it.
Yeah.
to try to do it because some of the missions I just chose not to take because it's like, what am I going to do with like 70 points versus like 300 points of opposing forces because of my limits of
Yeah.
getting 70% of the force limit? Like, I can barely put two tanks and I have to do like actions and try to kill mechs. It's just not going to happen. Um,
It's the kind of thing where I think if you and I wanted just to sit down and thoroughly challenge ourselves, we would do that, but not film it.
it doesn't. I think the filming is fine, but like from just learning and enjoying the story,
Mhm.
no, I would do it as a challenge, but just as like a mainline series for us, I would just stay at normal, to be very honest.
Well,
That's my opinion of it.
we're already when we get into snowblind because we're over what is it 3,000 point SP points. We already have a 10% hit now moving
Maybe
forward.
we kill one of your pilots.
Maybe. No, I prefer not.
Oh, yeah, no. So we've been
Watch
doing
that be what happens is
the
the
first
first
chance
mission
of
we
them.
lose a
Yeah,
pilot, you know.
pretty much.
It'll be poor Freddy or something like that. But
I'm trying to build pilots the same way that we did the first time.
I think I would change how we built them. But
Well,
no.
the problem is like some of your pilots you dumped like 80 points originally into like gunnery for no reason. And like that's not the direction I want to take them, but those points just stay there
Mhm.
forever.
Yeah. They may eventually get up where I get some skill 3 pilots, but
But to be fair, it feels very much so like in Mech Commander 2, because there's when you play it and you get your initial XP, and then you immediately want to switch the person's build because what they're built for isn't good, but like they're going to be one of your main pilots because
yeah,
every little bit of XP matters. And you're like, well, he's just stuck with that skill for the entire time.
yeah.
That's what it feels like. So
Hmm.
but there's some good moments. Yeah. So I'll add it up and we'll eventually release it. It's probably going to be not even close till. It's probably going to be near end of the year, just
I
with our
I'm
schedule.
looking forward to it. I got 15-minute clip of turn one, and I had an absolute blast. And the two
And
comments I made were, "You need to mic Johnny."
I did
You did.
after that. As soon as I started editing it the first time because I wanted to see what it was, I'm like, I need to put a mic on this
Yeah.
kid. Just
Uh,
he makes comments on dice all the time, which is funny. And I'm like, you need to roll six. He's like, ooh, not a lot of sixes. So it'll be fun.
uh, I forgot what the second comment was, but whatever it was is along those same kind of lines. So, but no, I'm looking forward to it. I think people will enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so now that we've talked about our home improvement, hobbying, some games played, let's talk about what our main topic is. We didn't even say we're so out of practice. We didn't even say what our main topic was, and that's going to be the 2026 This is Madness series.
we are done filming it. We have been done filming it for a while. And as of this recording, today's the 11th of July, episode 5 released yesterday, or match 5. So match 6 is due out next Friday, and then match 7 the Friday after that. I'm through turn 4 editing on match 7, so it should be done by tomorrow is going to be my guess. So for those keeping an eye on the playlist, you'll notice there is one hidden video, one private video, whatever they call it. So pretty soon you will see two. And with a little bit of luck, I'll actually make sure the release date when it gets released is correct. Um, but we did some crazy things with Madness this year, and we did our normal thing, 3x3, 300 points. We did our limitation of what ships can be on there. And then we limited some of the larges where we couldn't have an ISD2 was one of them.
I mean, the
The
problem is with the
Raven ship.
IST2 is just so powerful,
It's a good ship. Yeah.
and we felt so a lot of our limitations is we look at what has won in years past or it's just not fun to face in
Mhm.
years past in Madness, and then we eliminate it because we just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And as much as I love just cruising around in an ISD with gunnery teams obliterating Ken's fleets, um that's not good for a tournament with user submitted lists. So We asked the ISD, but if you wanted to bring an ISD one, so be it, or a Simon, so be it, or a Kuat, it's okay. We completely eliminated gunnery teams because it's a broken card to begin with, and then when you drop the point limits, it's even more broken. Like, take the strongest gun ship, the ISD2, and you put gunnery teams on it, and now we're not really playing a 300 versus 300 point. Someone's playing like a 500 versus
Yeah.
300 point game.
It was it's a force multiplier that is useful in some circumstances, but for the purposes of what we're doing, reduces that level of fun. And frankly, I'll be honest, I've been having a lot more fun knowing that my ships are not going to get double tapped by the ISD and then get hit again by something else. So,
Yeah.
it's actually kind of been good
I
in that way.
I talk about it all the time. That should be a card that is raised by cost by the size of the ship. So start off simple, small ships, 5, medium ships, 10, large ships, 15, huge ships, 20.
Yeah.
And then you can balance it from there. At 7 points, throwing it on a chassis that's 100 something points is just not enough of the total cost. Like it's less than, what is that? It's less than 2.5% of an entire fleet to double a ship that's going to be worth like 150 to 200 points of your 400. What? Just straight up doubles the firepower.
Yeah.
Um, so insane. Anyhow, and then we also eliminated point defense ion cannons because if we're making people bring fighters, the value of that card goes up significantly, and then it makes the fighters that are brought completely useless.
Yeah.
And I hate that card.
All right.
So that's gone too. So I think those are really the main things that we eliminated this time.
Yeah, we didn't do a lot beyond the normal standard set of objectives we tossed. I think if we do this again next year, we're talking about dumping fleet and being because 3 on 3 by 3, that's one where you have to be in that small sliver in the center or you're losing tokens.
That doesn't bother me as much because you want to have the tokens be removed. Um, yeah, that doesn't bother me as
Yeah.
much.
We thought about it at one point just because it was a small area, but uh,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
I
so
mean,
yeah.
you should just not pick it.
Well, yeah, but I like that one. But I like that one for different reasons, and I like it with my
But
Kraken
you
MC30s.
should not pick it. Um,
Uh, let's see, what
yeah.
else do we do? We
The
limited
mini,
8 fleets this year.
yes.
Um, and then we we had some craziness with some mini games.
Yeah,
That,
I
that we,
really like the mini games.
Mhm.
Um, we were talking about before we started recording. I My idea of the mini game though didn't work, so we'll have to revisit the mini game. So the idea is you get 3 commanders that you actually want,
Yep.
and you discard one, so then you as the player, when you hand it over to the other person, draft style, know what they have.
Hmm.
And then you get 2 things that they've seen. And then after you play the objective mini game, then you can choose like, do I pick the stronger, more expensive commander, or do I take a lesser commander with lesser points? And like, I know what points their commanders are. So then, like, I can do this whole game in my head of do I want to be first or second? And I kind of bid with what commander I'm picking, which works great in theory, except for how practices. We look at it and you throw out the one good commander and you hand someone a pile of not good cards, and they look at it and they go, well, I can never play this one. I guess I pick this one. So that
Hmm.
portion of the mini game was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I want to be Draven or do I want to be TF? Hmm.
Which TF, speaking of, showed up in your hand with
Every single
4 of the
time.
7.
I like super shuffled it. Like the way I do the dealing of the cards, because like we have Anakin and he's a special card, so you can tell right off the bat, is I shuffle, I don't look, I deal a card. I shuffle, I don't look, I deal a card. I shuffle, I don't look, I deal a card. I shuffle, I don't look, and that's how we get the cards out. And somehow TF ended up on the other side of the thing like 3 times. And it's like TF, no, there's literally no raid. No one in the entire fleets had anything that was raid thing. So I just can't use him. So
That,
maybe what we should do is we should just ban certain commanders next time, not objectives.
yeah, maybe.
Just
Yeah.
take poor TF and put him to rest. But like maybe if we expand the initial card size to like four, so you can get rid of the really bad one for your
Yeah.
opponent first, and then they have three options. So maybe I actually get a chance to choose something that's not just garbage. That would be nice, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, something with to play with.
I liked the way the objective mini game worked.
Yeah.
Um, but not necessarily just that I like the way the objective minigame works is I liked that none of the fleets were made for an objective.
Yes.
And that's really the part that I like the most because it sounds like I'm insulting people. I think I said in one of the comments or on Discord, I'm like, what was nice was everything was generic.
Mhm.
And all the fleets were just generic. They weren't skewed like crazy in one direction. And I mean that as like a big compliment. They were just generic, fun fleets.
Mhm.
And it wasn't like this fleet is made to play farming, and
Right.
then all I'm gonna be able to I'm just gonna drop to speed zero and farm. That there was no fleet that was like that, and every fleet had to be versatile enough to play any objective, and it was just a random objective on top of that.
Yeah.
And I think that worked really, really well.
No, I agree. And I think that that part of our mini game selection seemed to work out pretty well. Because then you could kind of like, well, I really don't want this particular objective, so I'm going to toss it because it's not going to work with one of the two crap commanders in the fleet that I have. Um, which is
I have the choice of TF. Are you going to give me surprise attack?
yes, no, okay,
Nope, you ditched that card the first time. Okay, so that means I won't choose TF this time.
right, yeah, and that honestly, John, I think I did that 3 times. That was fun and exciting, and it changed a little bit about how the game of Armada was played because you didn't have this fleet must do X, like you said. And you were kind of a generalist fleet that could kind of farm, kind of do some squadron strikes. And that was the other reason why you have to bring at least 2 squadrons. And then, could also be a little bit combative. So I think all fleets had a pretty decent chance of getting in there. And then commanders really didn't necessarily detract from the fleets. They would either do nothing or add something to it.
Correct.
And that was actually kind of a fun thing to run with in terms of how the games work. And we had some pretty good games out of it. I think some of the best games of Armada we've played.
Um, Everything's been spoiled at this point. So sadly, this is the first madness that you didn't win any games,
Yeah, but came
but
close like twice, three
this was the
times.
closest matches we've ever had
Yeah,
in Madness ever. And I think it's funny because it was like always really close. So it was like the first match we're like, that was the closest match we've ever had. And
right.
then like the next one was like, that was the
That was the
closest match
closest
we've
match
ever
we
had.
ever had.
And then we got to match four. That actually was the closest
Yeah.
match we've ever had.
I mean, we've had
And
a couple like 1 point matches before, but in terms of just one more hit and it completely flips the
yeah.
tables. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had this is this was actually one of my think my favorite madnesses just from that perspective because every single match was like a nail biter
Yeah.
of back and forth, and both of them like we've played so many games on the channel and things like that. We've talked about it before, like when people like get nitpicky of like, oh my goodness, like this I forgot to do something. I forgot to take a token, and that's why I lost. That's not how Armada works. Like it's just not. But there were instances of that actually changed the game. And what's very interesting is we both knew it at the exact moment every single time that it happened.
It
It
would it's here's the not it wouldn't even be structural, it'd be the critical that pops up. Yeah, I'm calling critical structurals. Here's the critical that
well,
shows up that was exactly the one of the like 12 different cards you can potentially get that really screws you. Or I think it was game four where you had like the best roll of your life ever with two accuracies, a couple doubles, and went from I am going to demolish your fleet to now I actually have to try a lot harder and to not lose this game in one
It,
shot.
Game four was I had nothing better to do, so I decided to just shoot the Phantom for fun.
Yes.
And what it did was it did just enough damage to overload your tokens,
Yep.
and you had no response to that, and like there was no good response to that. And like hitting the 3 damage right there
Yeah.
meant that you either had to take all the damage that was coming in the future or you had to spend your defense tokens. And it didn't matter which of those two happened, that ship exploded.
Yeah.
Like there was just no way out of it
Mm.
because it was just the little bit extra
Yeah.
that needed to happen.
It,
So
it
like
was,
that
yeah,
game was decided by a
a
random
tie phantom.
phantom that I decided like I think we were like, oh, we're done with the fighters. I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll just shoot at you because it's a phantom.
It's a
I think
phantom.
that's
It's red
literally
dice
what I
and
said.
you're rolling.
Yeah, with red dice. I know.
You're supposed to be
Um
two accuracies, Jeff.
I mean, I rolled a lot of accuracies with zero
Yeah.
damage
And
this
then the
game.
one time you roll 3 damage on two dice and go
And
figure.
it just
Yeah.
overloaded just slightly.
It
And
did exactly what it needed to do.
and then what is it? Game was it six that came down to like almost nothing either direction?
Yeah, I think it was six. Hang on, let me look real quick. Yeah, because that one wound up coming down to the wire and was decided by 24 points.
Like
Yeah,
24 points.
24 points, which is nothing when you think about it.
Yeah.
I because that was one where I took your squadrons out. You did not take any of mine out. And, I took a ship out, you took a ship out, and it came down to I needed my Architects to survive, and you took it out at the last kind of the last shot. You had one opportunity to shoot at it, and at the end, and if you destroyed it, you win. If you didn't, then I won. And I think you hit it exact, and it just took it out. And I did whatever I could just to get a shield up on you or something. So
Was this the game that I did a weird move to ram and kill my own ship so then I could kill your ship?
yes.
Oh man, that was a stressful game.
Hmm.
But like I knew that I had to give up points to kill your ship.
Yeah, it was one where you had to take a gamble to potentially win the game. And it wound up working out at the very end. But that also makes for some of the best games. Like, 'cause I think of the seven matches, match four, five, and six, I think were the strongest games of all seven, and all of them came down to a tie phantom that should not have ever had an impact at all, or the one of the final dice rolls of the game. And it's one where you do the math and you go, okay, you need an accuracy and two hits on three dice, or it's not gonna. And you roll an accuracy and two hits. And it's that's the kind of stuff though that makes those games of Armada great.
Yeah.
Uh, and you're looking back and you're like, yeah, okay, I made a mistake here. I could have done something a little different here. But even then, it's okay. Sometimes you delay things by a turn, and if you're destroyed in turn five, okay, then you're just destroyed in turn six.
Yeah.
Or your strategy would have changed a little bit and things could have played out differently. That's the one thing where you can look back at a game of Armada and say, oh, well, here's something I could try next time that may or may not have had any influence. And we've talked about this before also. It's not one thing that you do that changes the game or wins or loses it. It's so many different things that you do across the entire game. And you need about four or five different, I made an oops to actually really lose the game and get squandered. And I would even say deployment is by far one of the ones where you have to deploy well or you will really eliminate your chance of winning, but you will not necessarily be completely tabled and destroyed either. So it depends.
Armada is also a game that's kind of like Blood Bowl. Have you heard I know you've played Blood Bowl for forever, but have
Mhm.
you heard the phrase of how to win Blood Bowl?
kill more of the opponent's teams.
No, roll less dice than the
Oh, roll
opponent.
less dice. Yeah. Yeah.
Because the dice are your enemy and they
Dice are
will
always fun.
lose you the game.
They will.
So as long as you can set up to make your opponent roll dice,
Hmm.
you're doing better. And
Yeah,
I feel like Armada has a lot of that same type of energy. Like there are way Armada's a harder game to win than Armada is a game to lose. Like
that
you
is
can
true.
do things in Armada that will make you lose.
Yes,
And your
absolutely.
opponent almost has nothing to do with that.
Yeah. 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 And I usually do the dumb things to, yeah, I'm going to lose this or but part of that though is also it's no fun to watch you and me fishbowl around and get a 6-5 at the end of 6 turns of doing nothing. So half the time I'm like, well, all right, if we play this out normally, it's going to be a 6-5. I'm going to go in and go for a 9-2 because that's more fun. Now in Madness, I don't really do that, which is why the level of how I play changes. But
Madness is very much so you just need to win, and
yeah,
eliminating the fleets built for objectives changes the way the entire tournament runs.
yeah, that much I did notice because it was more about can I capitalize on a couple tokens? I mean, there was one game that I think you capitalized on tokens. That's what won you the game. In fact, I think it was match 5, 6, maybe. One of them, we had a whole conversation that's in, I think, a short coming out on Monday, where we were talking about tokens and how many tokens that you would need to get. In fact, actually, I think that was the one with the
Four?
Arctic match 6. Uh,
Or was it
or
four?
maybe it was 4. I think it was 4, where it's like you need to eliminate this, and if
Well,
I kill this, you need an
did
extra set of tokens.
I did not think that I was killing a munificent. So like every Architon was pointed out for how many tokens I needed it because I'm like,
That's
I'm
right.
gonna lose all of these.
Right.
So like I better start scoring some tokens. And that was like the one game I didn't roll accuracies in.
Right. Yeah.
I have home one, 5 accuracies. Don't need a home one. Need accuracies. I get zero.
You get none. Yeah.
No, that's cool.
But so if you haven't been paying attention, folks, all every Monday through July and a few in June, I've been releasing shorts where it's been most of the time it's I cut this because it doesn't make for good narrative story, but it's kind of fun extra stuff. So there's one, and I want to say it's the one that comes out on Monday, where it's like John's like, I think I need 3 tokens because you're gonna kill this. And then if you do that, then I'm gonna win. And then we're doing math. It's like, no, actually, John, I'm gonna win by 55 and you're gonna have 54. So you actually need it's some of these behind the scenes things that are kind of fun to post, which are I think are funny and informative about how we play the game and how we think about it, but don't usually make that final cut. Uh, so they're kind of fun, and they're what 50 seconds. So enjoy those to be sure. Um, but yeah, definitely a lot of fun for Madness. I didn't win anything, but that's okay because
But you were so
great
close
game.
to winning so many.
That's the thing is it was I definitely those middle three for sure. It wasn't even a I have a chance. It's I should win this one, and then it looks like I'm going to win it, and then a tie phantom comes out when it shouldn't, and it's that kind of dopiness that occurred. But that's okay because that's part of madness, and that's what makes it fun. And actually, there was a comment on one of the videos that got put out, and we've talked about this before. I mean, it's clear, John, you are a better Armada player than I am. But at least the comment was kind of like, it's very clear Ken would kick my butt, and is probably pretty good. I'm not bad at the game, uh, but it's always the dumb stuff, which
How many
kind of
times
thing.
have I mean, I've been places and you've been playing other people or in a tournament or something like that. And people walk away and they're like, "How did your game go?" And they're like, "I faced Ken. I thought I was going to have a really easy time because I see him lose all the time. It
Yeah,
was not easy,
no,
and he beat me." And this, and they're like, "We didn't expect that." I'm like, "Well, you should have."
yeah. It's you play John enough, and you get. I think one of my favorite tournaments we played a local tournament. 4 or 5 years ago.
I
You
know it's been so
you
long.
you won and I placed third. And the only reason I placed third was because the person you got in the middle like beat me out on MOV. And it was like, okay, yeah, the 10's actually not bad. Not a 20 people to hit that well.
Was
Uh,
that the one that I was practicing the Starhawk for Gen Con? Was that the one I won 300 I won 400 MOV every time with
I think so.
10 ones?
I think that was the one right before that Gen Con that you won that we got paired up. And
Drive
as
across
I
the country.
recall, that was also, I
That
think
was the
that was
closest match in the
also
entire
playing
tournament.
uh, in that tournament. So, who wound up being the the judge for Gen Con that year? But that was a fun year. We got to play a lot of Armada that year and drive 3 hours to face each other playing Armada. And
Yep.
yeah, that's right. I think I was the closest person to I minimized your score more
You
than
were
anybody
Yep.
else. Ah,
Yes, you did.
and we also finished our game in 35 minutes and had 2 hours to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is also true.
That was good. That was funny. So Madness, 7 matches. We did get our fifth winner. Is this our fifth time through it?
Where's it our six? It's been so many.
I think this is our no, this is Madness 6. We talked about that. Yes. So
Because
because
we started in 2020.
yeah, 2021 was our first Madness. So because we did it during COVID. That's right.
Yep.
It was a great idea that we did that. So we have our sixth Madness winner. John, they already know who it is, but Wolf Sigma wound up winning this year, and it joins the Wall of Champions for Madness. So if we do this 2 more years, we can have a Madness tournament of champions.
The Madness. The
Madness,
problem
man.
is we've done so many different rule changes and stuff in between. It would be hard to pull all the same fleets.
Well, that and some of the fleets are pre 1.5.
That is also true.
And I'm pretty sure there's one or two that are not legal anymore, but
Correct.
I don't know. That could be kind of fun. We'll add that element into Madness. Doesn't matter when your fleet was built, it's still legal.
Oh, geez. I'm
Irish
gonna go with the double
Gal coming
ISD
with
one's
that
gonna win.
ISD too. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so congratulations. Thank you to all of our participants this year. I honestly feel like this was one of our best Madness years ever. Just the games are just so tight.
Mhm.
Our mini game added even more craziness into the craziness that's Madness. So it honestly, Madness is one of my favorite things that we've ever done and continue to do with Armada or even just the channel in general. I just really enjoy doing it.
It's fun and it's something different. And so thank you, Bug called COVID, for helping create that idea. Because as I recall, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not 100% sure, but I think the reason we decided to do it was because no one could go play Armada, and that was our thought on how we can get a couple player fleets out onto the table, so that people could see their games get played.
Yep, that was the reason.
Yeah, so kind of fun that that's lasted on for 6 years. So what's coming up with Ion Radio, John?
So we've actually started doing different filming. So we've already talked. I've been filming the legendary playthrough of Aces. Um, we have a star map out here. Ken and I have actually been filming Star Trek Alliance and having a blast with that. So we're almost done with the first campaign, and we're thinking about just continuing on. So this is going to be released way later in the year. But we've just been recording it and playing it because we don't have anything 3D printed and mechs painted yet to jump into the next thing. And then after that, we're both gonna dive back into the Hinterlands campaigns, and we're gonna be converting basically everything over to the Draconic Reach rules because they're just way cleaner than
Yeah.
Hinterlands. And I know I'm not the only one because I've heard other people on YouTube complaining about especially the difference between Hinterlands and Draconis Reach is just their basic like how the missions play, and I'm like, who deploys first?
Yeah,
Why is this written differently in every single one of these? They fixed almost all of those issues, so
yeah.
I'm excited to be playing with the new objectives and new missions. So we're going to be filming that. But saying that, after Madness and this episode gets done, we're going to take a hiatus for at least the entire month of August,
Mhm.
and then we're going to be coming back either the first or second ish week of September because we want it all basically filmed up so we can drop it and have it edited and have it being able to release right away. Um, so that's our current plan. So we're going to take the month of August off for kind of like just a reset and then basically jump right back into Hinterlands.
Yeah, so there's gonna be nothing on the community page. There'll be no new videos. I mean, we'll post something up. If things go the way we're expecting it to, you guys are watching this on the 31st of July, which is in about 3 weeks from when we're filming it. So we'll post things up so everyone knows and it should be expecting this. That said, if you jump onto our Discord, we'll be kind of giving some minor status updates there. All of our patron members will definitely be getting updates through there. We might even launch a couple updates for just our free members on Patreon also, just so that you know what we're doing. Things that we're painting up and whatnot will probably find their way onto Instagram. So you're going to want to check our other socials to be able to see what's going on, what we're doing, and everything else. But as John said, over the next 4 or 5 weeks or so, it'll be radio silence on YouTube, and then we're going to come back with the Hinterland series.
Yeah, which I'm excited to get back into classic BattleTech. It's been nice being able to rotate through things. So,
Yeah, this new film style that we've decided
mhm.
to pick up on, which is play an entire series out, and then start editing, and then we'll start filming the next series, has really worked for us. Rather than having to spend an entire day chopping down the studio, resetting for the next game so that we can get out our weekly stuff. This is really going to work out better for us. Plus, with the time off, we're going to be able to get our back catalog kind of grown back out again, which we haven't had since COVID started, I think. Uh,
Well,
yeah,
doing all the Adepticon
yeah.
streaming took a lot of time out of filming and just editing and everything in general.
Yeah. I mean, it was great experience to do Adepticon and Worlds for 3 years. I did enjoy that. But we took a hit on the channel to be able to bring you guys that. So, you're welcome. But now we need that time to kind of get ourselves back to where we need to be. And so we hope that you enjoy everything that comes out when we come back, and then all the updates that we bring to it. I know we're talking about getting a new camera to kind of help out because that's the other thing. Some
Our
of our
cameras
equipment
are
now
old.
is old. Uh, I think our first two cameras, this is a complete side note, but I'll throw this one out for everyone. The first two cameras that we bought are both, I think we bought them within a month and a half, 2 months of each other. And this goes back to probably 3, 4 months before the channel started. And those cameras are now losing a couple frames here and there, and they're just not worthwhile continuing to use. So we've already replaced, for all of madness, you guys probably have noticed the top-down feature has been done with a brand new 4K camera. So we are looking at a new 4K camera for that side view, and that should really help improve the quality of the battle reports moving forward. So we've also found an issue with our microphone setup, and we have fixed that. So you'll see that or hear that, I guess, with the next series as well. So this is the other reason we're doing this. We need like one day just to sit down and test everything again and figure out
Yeah.
what works, what doesn't, what levels we have to set things at. It just takes time. So we're striving to do what we can to bring you guys the best quality battle reports that we can, and this is the best way for us to do it.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening to us chatter about home improvement and madness and what we're going to be doing. If you guys have any questions or want to chat with us, you can hit us down in the comments below, or you could come to our Discord and chat with us there as well.
Yeah. So thanks again for me too, guys, for listening and watching and all the support you guys have had. Because frankly, that's one of the biggest reasons that John and I keep doing this is every video where we get the comments and everything about what you guys love what we do is probably the biggest reason we continue doing it. So thank you very much.
Okay. Until next time, I'm John,
And I'm Ken.
and you've been watching Ion Radio.